So, I am leaving New York today. Not forever, but I am going away for a while. I'm going to be singing at Des Moines Metro Opera for 2 months, which is amazing and exciting, and yeah. But Des Moines Metro Opera is in Iowa, which is very, very far from here. It is literally like half the country away. And I'm driving there instead of flying because, one, there was no direct flight to Des Moines, and I'm going to be living there for 2 months, and like, while I could easily live in New York City without a car, can't probably say the same for Iowa, but it's all good. I get to have like a fun road trip on the way there, which is what we're starting today. So today I am driving from New York to Cleveland, which is the longest leg of the trip. I'm doing this trip in 3 days. I think today I'm gonna drive like close to 500 miles. It's gonna be like a lot. I think on Google Maps it said if I didn't stop ever, it would be like 8 hours. It is currently 6:12 in the morning. I'm getting an early start, not just because I have a really long day of driving ahead of me and a lot of distance to cover, but also because it is Memorial Day and like the end of Memorial Day weekend, so I really just need to like rocket out of the city before, you know, everybody else in the world is on the road. I just picked up my last New York bagel that I'm gonna have for a couple months. I know there are bagels in other parts of the world, but I'm sorry, I am a bagel elitist. My bagel order is a poppy seed bagel with scallion cream cheese, in case you were wondering, which no one was wondering. But yeah, let's get driving.
Yeah.
Okay, so quick updates while I'm making a little bit of a pit stop. It is currently 9:16 in the morning, and I have already been in 3 states, so New York, New Jersey, and I'm now in Pennsylvania. Most of today's drive is gonna be in Pennsylvania, just because it's like a really wide state. I am currently charging, well, my car's turned off, so like they're not charging right now, but when I turn my car back on, I will be charging my camera batteries, because fun fact about me, I am like horrifically irresponsible when it comes to charging all of my devices. I have 4 batteries for the camera that I'm filming on right now. I charged none of them because I figured, you know what, like one of them has to be charged. And I wasn't entirely wrong. Like most of them were charged like a bit, so I could use them for a little while. None of them were filled all the way up though. So I'm just gonna let them charge through this next, you know, bit. Okay, so it is about noon right now. I just stopped to get something to eat for lunch. I am still in Pennsylvania, and according to the GPS, I have 185 miles left to go, so give or take like 2.5 hours left until I get to Cleveland. I'm actually not feeling tired, and that might just be because I'm really, really used to driving a lot. I have to drive a lot for work because I teach in my students' houses, so what I'm used to is driving across Queens and Long Island, where I am always in traffic, just every second of my life. And when you're in that much traffic all the time, like even a half-hour drive will feel like a lifetime. But when you're driving at highway speed through like, you know, beautiful landscapes, it doesn't feel that tiring. Alright, I have finally arrived in Cleveland. I'm in my hotel room right now. I don't feel dead, but I definitely feel like I was in my car for, you know, 8 hours. Towards the, like, I feel like last hour of the trip, I was feeling like, like maybe I'll, you know, I'm feeling good. Maybe I'll check in at the hotel, dump my stuff in the room, and then I'll get in my car and drive downtown and like go explore and all of that. And then the second I got into my room and saw like a bed, I was like, yeah, nope, not doing that at all. And then on top of that, like I just want to save my energy for the next couple of days because I definitely want to go and explore and have a good time in Chicago. And then I will just need energy to move into my dorm in Des Moines. Okay, a quick correction here and for the rest of the vlog. For some reason, I keep saying Des Moines instead of Indianola. Des Moines Metro Opera is in Indianola. It is very close to Des Moines, but it is not in Des Moines. It is in Indianola. If you wanted to see a show at Des Moines Metro Opera, which you absolutely should because everyone here is fabulous, it is in Indianola. But like today was really fun. Like I thought at some point, like especially today being the longest leg, that I would get sick of it, but like I didn't. I like long drives anyway, but this was a nice change of scenery for a while, and it was like really pretty much the whole drive here. I was literally just like like jamming to music and catching up on podcasts and stuff like that. So it was oddly restful. It's the longest I've ever driven, like completely alone. It's actually the longest I've ever driven, period, but certainly the longest I've driven alone. This whole trip is also like I'm going farther west than I ever have in my life, like in the US. Like I've been to Europe, I've been to pretty much all the northeastern states, but I have never been west of like Pennsylvania. But I'm definitely really happy that I decided to do the road trip out because like I get to actually see the country. Like I was born here and I've lived here my whole life, but like I've never seen the vast majority of the US because it's such a massive country. My mom also told me that I am going to be the first member of my family to cross the Mississippi River on land, which is like, I'm not Lewis and Clark, but okay. Also, at this point, my Easy Pass is stressed out. I paid tolls in 4 states. I paid 2 tolls just to get out of New York City. I basically never use my Easy Pass when I'm home. Like I use it in audition season and then just like never. So I'm sure there's someone at Port Authority that's just like, did someone steal your car? But yeah, I'm hungry. I'm gonna order food and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is 5:36 a.m. Thankfully, this is the last day I have to wake up super early to leave super early. Chicago and Des Moines are 5 hours apart, but I only have to get to Des Moines between 3 and 7 to check in and move into my dorm. Like, yes, I will need time to unpack. I will need time to go grocery shopping, but that's really about it. Today we are going to Chicago, so I'm going through 3 more states. So I'll be going through the rest of Ohio, then Indiana, then into Illinois. Today's drive is going to be shorter, which is good. Yesterday was pretty long, though I am going to get 1 hour back because Chicago is in a different time zone. They're Central Time. I'm still on EST in Cleveland, so it'll still be give or take 6 hours in the car, but like I'll arrive 1 hour earlier than if I wasn't crossing a time zone. Please excuse my morning voice, by the way. Like I was looking over footage from yesterday, like the clips that I took first thing in the morning, and I was like, wow, I'm a 10er. I kind of want to check out like right now and just like put my shoes on, load up my car and go. But the hotel's breakfast doesn't start until 6, but also like I was considering just like going to a Starbucks drive-thru. But I think the deciding factor of that will be if I can get an early check-in at my hotel in Chicago. Check-in there is at 3, but I'm on track to get there at like noon. Like when I called them last week, they said that they have a safe place to like hold on to bags, like if I can't check in early. So I mean, there's that. I don't know. I'm gonna try to call them because I know a lot of hotels like have a 24/7 like front desk. That also might be like my New York brain thinking. So I don't know. I'm gonna call them and we'll see. Chicago. I just took a minute to like cool down because it's super hot outside and just freshen up before I picked up my camera to vlog and or just, you know, tried to have thoughts. I'm too lazy to put my camera on the little like suction cup mount thing so I could talk with my hands free, so we're all just gonna deal with this. But I forgot to mention this morning, or just like in this entire day vlogging, that tonight I am meeting up with my teacher for dinner, which I'm really excited about. I don't really get to see her in person ever anymore because we don't live in the same state, but she is from Chicago, so she's meeting me here and that'll be really fun. Also, she sometimes watches my videos, so hi Roz, if you see this. But anyway, I'm gonna quickly switch over to my like kind of smaller purse instead of my backpack, and then I'm gonna, well, I have to get one more like tiny thing out of my car and bring it up to the room, and then I'm gonna get in my car and drive downtown. There's a parking garage by Millennium Park and I'm gonna park there and then just like kind of wander and explore from there. I looked up the rates for that lot and I love how even though it's like in downtown Chicago in like a populated area, it's still so much cheaper than Manhattan. Good morning. Today we are going to our final destination in Iowa. It's actually not super early in the morning right now. It is 8:36 at the current moment because though Chicago and Des Moines are roughly 5 hours apart, I don't really have to sprint there. I just have to get there to check in and get my keys and things between 3 and 7. So I got to sleep in a little. Like I just finished packing up my stuff. I didn't have to do it last night to like, you know, try to get out by 6 a.m. this morning like I did yesterday and the day before that. When I got back to the hotel last night, I basically like immediately fell asleep. I had a really good time. I walked through Millennium Park and like kind of explored some of downtown Chicago, and then of course like it was so much fun to meet up with Roz, who again I don't get to see in person really ever. But yeah, I went downstairs for breakfast, took my time with that. I actually went and got one of these rolling things that last night I only saw that they even had once I was like walking in on the struggle bus carrying all of this, plus my backpack, which you can't see. It's right there. So I just looked like a struggling turtle trying to carry all of that up, like, you know, stack, like one suitcase with one bag on top and the other suitcase with the other bag on top, but like one was like, didn't want to like roll straight. It was a mess. So now we have, you know, nice little cart where it's not gonna make my arms scream. And yeah, today we move into my dorm at Des Moines Metro Opera. A lot of excitement, but I first have to drive like 5 hours. Hello MTV and welcome to my crib. This is all you get to see in my face. I'm really sweaty and gross because it's 90 degrees out and I just spent the past like hour adjusting these two beds. Well, not by myself, like I had help, but still. But anyway, before I like fully run out of energy, I'm gonna make myself a shopping list and go grocery shopping. I also need to pick up some like cleaning supplies and other just household stuff like that. I think I'm also gonna pick up dinner while I'm out so that I'll just pick all of that up, put that away, and then I'll finish setting up my room. I don't think I'm gonna finish unpacking tonight, but I'm gonna at least like get my bed set up, get the furniture all in their places, and but we're here and I'm super excited even if I do look like a greasy pigeon right now. I've already met some of the other artists as I was passing through the hallways, so that was really cool. And yeah, I'll talk to you in a little bit. What's up? It's the next morning. Last night I actually wound up doing like the majority of my unpacking and settling into my room. I just like finished it up this morning and just now. While I was doing that, I was on FaceTime with my friends Chris and Sierra from back home. Every once in a while we have like our little work buddy sessions where like if we all have stuff to get through in a night, we'll just like get on FaceTime or get on Zoom and just like hash it out together. So that's what we did last night, and then once I was done with that, I literally like went to bed and just knocked out immediately. Apparently there was like a huge storm last night that sounded like gunshots, and I fully slept through that. Like I woke up and I was like, oh, there's like some rain on my window. Oh, maybe it's raining, and I forgot to bring an umbrella. Like full stop forgot to bring an umbrella. Any umbrellas that I own are back in New York. But yeah, like I only found that out as I was like walking into the Performing Arts Center for a costume fitting. I just got back from said costume fitting, and they're like, oh yeah, like did you hear that storm last night? I was like, what? I mean, like, I'm from New York City, like, I'm used to, like, loud, suspicious sounds all the time. But yeah, apparently I slept through, like, a whole tornado last night, which in Iowa, distinctly possible. But anyway, we're kind of settling in here. I'm already starting to find my way around, because I already have had to walk over to the theater and back once. If you know nothing about me, my sense of direction, not great. My sense of direction inside buildings might as well not exist. So luckily I had some help finding my way to the costume shop in the theater, but I would have been so late and so lost had I not gotten help. And last thing, just to like fully kind of tie it all together and wrap this whole thing up, the 3 days of driving out here to Iowa were like absolutely beautiful. Despite being born in this country and like having lived here my whole life, like I have not seen the vast majority of the US. So like driving across half of it let me see like a lot of it. It was like absolutely perfect weather, like no rain. I mean, apparently it stormed like crazy here last night, but like all 3 days of the trip it was like perfect weather, so it's just like blue skies for days. And I feel like when I told people back home that I was going to be driving here, they had me believing it was just going to be like straight walls of corn with like no break in it for 1,200 miles. Which like, yes, I saw many farms, but like, you know what I also don't see at home? Farms. Like when I was in elementary school, they used to like take us on field trips to the Queens County Farm Museum, where they basically take city kids and go like, here is what a cow looks like. And listen, like New York City is my home. I love it, but like there's something to be said for getting a change of scenery. And I feel like each state looked like a little different from the last. Like, okay, like New York, I was just driving out of the city, like it's nothing new. Part of the drive in New Jersey was familiar because a coach that I work with lives there, so when I coach with her, I drive to her house there. So like I've driven in like parts of Jersey before, but like the parts that are very close to Manhattan. But then like the rest of Jersey and most of Pennsylvania were mostly kind of like trees and hills and beautiful like forests and things. I don't want to say like mountainous, but like, you know, certainly not flat. Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois were like certainly flatter than, you know, the East Coast states were. But what was really cool is because like most of what's on the side of the interstate are just farms, and because it's so flat and it was like a beautiful day outside, it was like you could see forever in any direction. Iowa was pretty similar, but it wasn't like as flat, so it was like more like hills and stuff. Also, as I was getting really close to here on the expressway, they had one of those signs that was like, oh, at this exit, here's what's at this exit. It's like one of those blue signs that'll be like these restaurants and these attractions. And so it was like at exit number whatever, I don't remember what it was. It was like food, and then it was like attractions, Des Moines Metro Opera, and I was like, it's right there! So yeah, I went for my first costume fitting this morning, which was super fun. Everybody that I've met here has already been like super nice, and even like through emails, everybody's like just so nice. It's so positive, and I have a company meeting at 1:30, and then I think I have a break. I have to make one more run out to the store. I went grocery shopping last night, but I clearly forgot a few things, which I figured out this morning. This morning, it like hit me that I'm going back to rehearsals, and like I've been in rehearsals these past 3 years. But first of all, in 2020 and 2021, they were like all on Zoom. I've been in some in-person rehearsals since then for just various concerts and things. This is my first time being back in rehearsals for like a full-length opera, and I'm just like, I'm so excited and so ready to be back in that environment. Obviously I can't film in rehearsals or coachings or like when I'm working, but I just wanted to say that I'm like super excited to be here, super grateful for this opportunity, and yeah.